Just like the majority of FIFA Career Mode YouTubers, I use mods quite heavily in my videos. This isn't to make the game easier or to cheat. Instead, you can add new leagues, you can make the game more realistic, you can provide more of a challenge, and just generally make the game more fun. If you want to make career mode better, then I don't think there's anything that can have a bigger impact on your career mode than downloading mods. And today I'm going to be letting you know exactly how you can get started to use them in your own saves. Today I'll be telling you where to find mods, how to install them, how to create your own small mods like custom kits or logos, and giving you some information on some of the bigger mods out there that can change absolutely everything in your game. So let's get started by showing you some places where you can actually find some good FIFA Career Mode mods in a safe way. Okay, so as you can imagine, there is a lot of things that come up if you type in FC25 Career Mode mods. There is going to be so many websites offering these. Nexus Mods is a good one. You can see people talk about it on Reddit and some guys that have made videos on how to install every single free mod. But the sites that I really recommend is FIFA Infinity, which looks like this one. You can see this is a selection of some of the kind of things you might be expecting. New kits for next season, gameplay changes, extra kits for teams that are already in the game, and realism patches. You've also got Nexus Mods, which looks something like this. This has very similar kind of things, but these are usually smaller mods on Nexus Mods. On Soccer Gaming, you have some of the bigger mods. So this is where people like to actually do total conversion. So adding 10 new leagues, which is something a lot of people are interested in, or retro teams. And then finally, you have some other ones that you can just find on Google. But if you want to make sure you're safe, I would go to one of those three sites if you're going to download some good FIFA mods. So let's also now have a quick look at how we can actually get one of these and add it to our game. So let's try and find one that we're interested in having. So maybe we want to add a splash screen or something. This one looks quite good. Newcastle United splash screen. And while it is a little bit old, that's good because I'm actually using an older version of the game for my career mode at the moment. So that isn't actually going to affect us too much. So we will have a splash screen that looks something like this when it says welcome to the club. It's Newcastle United lifting the Carabao Cup. So we're going to press the download button right here. We're going to have to log in to register and download this file. And then we can press slow download and we will see the mod downloading up here. Now this is, again, really easy to actually install. What we need to go onto is the FIFA editing tool site, which I will also link in the description to this video. From here, you have two options. The editor, which is, we're going to use this one later to actually make our own kit mod, but you also have the mod manager, which is how we're going to install this. So just press download here, and then all you have to do is unzip a folder, and then you will get a folder that looks like this. So you can see you have a logs folder, whatever, we don't really need to care about that. All we need to do is double click on FIFA Mod Manager. And then the mod manager will open. You can see we've got a lot of stuff in here, so let's not get distracted by that. I've got another profile that will empty out the applied mod. So what we need to do now is import the mod that we've just downloaded. So if we go into our downloads, you can see it right here. We have the Newcastle United splash screen FIFA mod. We're just going to drag that into our downloads folder. And in here, we now have the .FIFA mod file. You go back into FIFA Mod Manager, you press import mods, find out where you've just installed it or just copied it to. So for us, it's downloads, double click it, and then you'll see it in this list over here. Double click it again, and it goes into the applied mods. Now that is literally it. All you have to do is press launch. FIFA Mod Manager will then actually copy the mods into the mod folder we saw earlier, and it will just set everything up for you. You don't really have to do anything else, and if you go in mods, you'll probably be able to see it in here now while we're waiting for the game to load. There it is, NUFC splash screen FIFA mod. So this is the only one we've installed. This is all other stuff that we've used for different saves. And there we go. We can see Kieran Trippier lifting the Carabao Cup. That is how easy it is to install a mod. You just have to download it. You just then have to copy it into FIFA Mod Manager, and then you have a mod able to be used inside your career mode save. But that is actually one of the easiest ways to install a mod. What if you want to create your own? Well, we talked about this earlier. We want to go and create our own FIFA kits. Well, thankfully, some absolute genius has created FIFAKitCreator.com. So in this, you can create your own little kits. We can do lots of random stuff here. In fact, we are going to just randomize a kit a couple of times until we get something that we can identify in the game. So, okay, this looks fine. You know, we're not going to forget what this looks like. It's very bright. So you can spend hours changing so much in here. You can change the colors of everything from the designs. You can add your own sponsors if you really want to, your own kit crests, things like that. So many options, there's so many patterns. This thing is really good. But what we're focused on now is how to add this into the game. So we go back onto FIFA editing tool site first and make sure you've installed the editor. This is super cool. You can see so much information about the game in the editor, but we're not actually going to really look at any of that right now. We're going to download our kit. You'll see it pop up again in the corner, kit.zip, and that means the kit is ready to be used. You don't really have to do much else. Now we're going to go back into FIFA editor tool, double click it, open it up. Again, you might get a pop-up asking you to be an admin, and then the window will open. This can take quite a while to start up if you've got a slow PC or if you haven't used it before, but let's skip ahead to when it has actually loaded. Okay, so now it has loaded, and all we have to do is search for the team ID that we want to use. There's a couple of ways you can find this. So I think the easiest one is if you go over to FIFA, which is a site that has information about every single player if you've never used this before. Let's say we want to change Aston Villa's kit, and they have the ID of 2 right here. Or you might want to change Legia Warsaw's kit. They have 1871 up the top here. Or maybe Sunderland, who have 106 in their team ID. So this is their team ID, and that's all we really care about. If you type in 106 in this box right here and press enter, you will see content. And then if you go into character, and then you go into kit, and if you go into this folder here, kit 0, you'll see Sunderland 106. You don't actually need to use the team ID here. It's only really used if there's going to be multiple teams with the same name. If you want to change Madrid's kit, we can just type in Madrid, and then you can see in the same folder, in content, character, kit, you have Atletico Madrid and you have Real Madrid. So for this example, we're actually going to change the third kit for Atletico Madrid. We're going to right click on the third kit thing right here, import kit creator kit, and then you can see kit.zip. This is the thing that we just downloaded. We double click, this will import the kit, and that is literally it. If we go down here and click on jersey color, we can see that our kit has been added in here. This is that same one that we have open in our browser. So we can see everything about it. This is the pink back. That is now in here, perfect and ready to use. We're going to go up to the top, press File, Export to Mod, and then we're going to name our mod something like Madrid Third Kit. So easy. The author is me. The version is 1. We can add images if you want, and if you're going to share this with someone, make sure you do that because it is going to make things a lot easier. Oh, we forgot to do a category, so let's put it in kits. It's a fantasy kit. Save the mod, and we're going to get a FIFA mod file. So we're going to name this Madrid.FIFAMod, and then we can close the editor. We can save it if we want, if you're doing a lot of edits, but we don't really need to for what we're doing right now. We're going to reopen FIFA Mod Manager, import mods. We got Madrid.FIFAMod, and then if we find it on this list, there it is, Madrid Third Kit. We can add it to the list and press launch. So because we have 2 mods on there now, we should have the Newcastle splash screen, and we should also have the new Atletico Madrid mod added into the game. So let's wait for that to load and see what it looks like. So you can see the Newcastle mod is still working fine. That's good news, means we haven't messed anything up. And all we need to do now is go into kickoff and have a look at Atletico Madrid's kits. Finally, it loads. We can go into kickoff. Okay, so over to Spain. This should be quite easy to find them. Athletic Club, Atletico Madrid. We'll play against Derby County. And there is our really ugly kit with the pink and the yellow and the red. And that is how to create your own FIFA mod. So that is basically how every single mod is created. That is how the biggest ones, like the FIFA mod, which is one of the biggest expansions, is done. That is how every single mod that most FIFA YouTubers, if they have custom kits or custom faces, they will install a mod in the exact same way, and it's all done via the FIFA editor tool. And if you get really good at using this, you can create some absolutely amazing things. There is so much in here you can change. You can change Creator Club logos, you can change the sponsors and the kits for those. Every single one of these folders has about 6 other things in there. You can change the UI. Look, in here we have album art textures for some of these bands that are in here. If you want to add your own music in, you can do that. There's different themes and stuff in here. I use the FIFA FC25 Realism mod for my Schalke save that I'm doing at the minute, but there's so many good mods out there. The GLE mod here is really, really good. I know there's some mods from Brazil and South America that are paid, and again, they're really good too. But yeah, you can get by for free, almost guaranteed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little video on how to get started with FIFA Career Mode mods, and hopefully it can make your next save a little bit more fun. If you've got any questions, ask them to me over on Discord rather than in the comments, because I do check my Discord messages a lot more. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something about how to mod your game, and hopefully your next save is really fun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.